Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're recapping, I guess, call this second opening night. Last night, of course, we had opening night with the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, and Celtics, but we had second opening night, which is all the other teams, basically, almost all the other teams, playing their first games, as first impressions of new teams. We're going to talk about every game, recap all the things I saw here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. Pacers and Pistons, and also if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the box score. I got everything set on this other monitor. But yeah, Pacers and Pistons was the first game of the day, and the Pacers a really good comeback win. They win 115-109. They outscored Detroit 33-19 in the fourth quarter. Very tough opening loss for Detroit, but good things to see. First for the winning team, Indiana, Miles Turner 29-4 with 4 blocks. Really like the passes he was making. Shot 7-14, 3 for 8 from 3. Pascal with 19, 8, 9, having a really good game. And it was the bench for Indiana. The bench last year, I think they were the highest scoring bench in the league last season. And they come out betting Mathurin, 19-6 now, being put into that bench role. If you watch my award prediction video, I had him finishing top 3 as a candidate for the 6th Man of the Year award. And this is exactly why. If he can come off the bench and give you a cool 15 to 20 points per game with Indiana, or he's going to be a high-scoring team, bring him in. He was nice. And TJ McConnell doing TJ McConnell things as well. 14 points on 7 for 8 shooting, all from like inside the paint. Those two were huge spark plugs, especially in the early fourth quarter when, you know, the Pistons had a little run. Cade Cunningham had a big third quarter. But then Betting Mather and TJ McConnell coming in and having those big games, especially with Aaron Nesmith not really having a good game. Andrew Nembhard was shooting not so well. Tyrese Halliburton had a tough shooting night. And so for those two guys to come in and be big factors off the bench for Indiana was really, really cool. Halliburton, 15, 5, and 4. Shot 6 for 18, but hit a big dagger 3. But for Detroit, very tough loss, but some very encouraging things. Cade Cunningham, 28, 5, and 8, shot 10 for 23. He had 18 points in the third quarter, and an absolutely amazing stretch, using his size to his advantage, the benefits of being a big guard, getting to the rim, facilitating, attacking, hitting threes. Like, Cade Cunningham all-star stock going up after that game. That was amazing. Jaden Ivey was very solid too, 16, 5, or 17, 5, and 4. Jalen Duren had a 13-13 game. Only took 4 shots. Did get to the free throw line a lot though, but 13-13 for him. Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, the 3 veterans they brought in were really big as well. Timmy and Malik Beasley both had 14. Tobias had 13. Tim Hardaway had 4 threes. Just, you know, this is what they brought him here to do. They brought them here to shoot the ball and to help space the floor. And Detroit looked like a really solid basketball team. You know, their defense was good in stretches, you know, which you expect. You don't expect this team, you don't expect this team to be a really, really good defensive team. But there are some moments where I was like, hey, Detroit looks like they're locking up. They had a really good preseason. I was very interested to see how the regular season, how they would move into that. And they had a really good game 1. I mean, again, a very, very tough loss, a game that they're in control, and I feel like 90% of the way they're in control. An unfortunate loss. Shout out to the Indiana Pacers for sticking in it and hitting some big shots at the end. But Detroit got some encouraging things going on, man. I'm very interested to see Detroit this season. We'll get some of these more blowouts out of the way as well. Milwaukee and Philadelphia, the ESPN game. Unfortunately, no Joel or PG for Philadelphia, so it was a tough way to start the year. Milwaukee, no Chris Middleton. Milwaukee ends up winning 124-109. They have a big second quarter, outscoring Philadelphia 36-24, and then they put up 42 points in the third quarter. Damian Lillard was on fire, 39-6, hit 6 3-pointers, just looked locked in. You know, a lot of pick and rolls with him and Giannis, who also had a really good game, 25, 14, and 7, and shot 9 for 16 from the free throw line. Both those guys looked absolutely locked in last night. I said it in a couple preseason, videos when I was doing predictions and stuff like that in the offseason, where I think Damian Giannis might have a big season and the Bucks might have a surprising year. And both those guys, to start the year, both those guys were amazing. You also have Bobby Portis doing Bobby Portis 16 points. Saw the first look of Gary Trent Jr., who put up 11. Torian Prince had 16 points, hit 4 3-pointers. Those two looked very good in their game. And yeah, Milwaukee just beasting a worse 76er team. I mean, no Joel and PG is tough. Tyrese Maxey got 25. He was trying everything he could, but it's tough when he's got to take 31 shots, you know, and no one else is really doing much. Kelly Oubre also was trying. I mean, he took 18 shots. He had 21 points. He was trying, and after that, the bench gave him some good production. Kyle Lowry had 13 and 6 assists. Caleb Martin had 12. Gershon had 10 points. I liked his minutes. But yeah, then when you have Eric Gordon going over to Kenyon Martin Jr. play 15 minutes and didn't really do much. It's just really tough to win without PG and Joel, obviously. And now it's reported that, Joel Embiid, they're going under, investigation. I don't know if he's actually injured or not. Paul George just got a report right before this video that he's going to miss a couple games this weekend. So not an amazing start for the 76ers. I said it, I think, somewhere, I don't know, I said it, that the regular season kind of really doesn't matter for Philadelphia anymore. But this also is not the start. You don't want to start the season with these guys already on the bench. This was more of a mid-season, end-of-season type thing. The start of the year, you're going to go at least 3-4 games without having your guys playing. You're not getting off to a great start, especially in a very tough Eastern Conference. But Milwaukee coming out and doing their thing, handling a team that they're supposed to handle. So good for them. Orlando and Miami. Orlando ends up dominating 116-97. This was a very close first half, and then all of a sudden the third quarter came out, and Orlando just punched Miami in the face. They outscored them 39-18, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. Paolo Banchero, 33-11-3, shot 12 for 24, 4 3-pointers. He was absolutely phenomenal, doing all the Paolo things, getting into the paint, scoring, being kind of the point guard, I guess, because Jalen Suggs only played 12 minutes due to foul trouble. But so Paolo really was the main ball handler, and he was doing all those things, made a very nice behind-the-back no-look pass as well, like in the post to Franz Wagner. That was nice. Three-ball looked a lot more confident. He had one coming off a screen and he hit a three-pointer. I was like, okay, Paolo. But Paolo, great game. Franz Wagner as well, very encouraging. 23 points, hit 3 3-pointers. Gary Harris had a big game as well. 6 threes off the bench. That's big. And especially when you get a win like this with KCP going 0 for 5 and Wendell Carter going 3 for 7. Jalen Suggs only playing 12 minutes. Cole Anthony didn't score in 17 minutes. Mo Wagner had to set, you get a game where you could win by almost 30. Well, they won by 19 actually. Never mind. But they were up by 20-something at one point with all your kind of key role players not really doing much. That's huge. And then for Miami, just really struggled. Their stars, Jimmy and Bam, combined to shoot 2 for 13 from the field. You're not going to win games like that. They both were minus 30. So, yeah, you're not going to win games like that. Bam at least was getting to the free throw line. Jimmy, 3 points in his debut. Very tough, especially after all the, off-season and him coming in media day looking like he was ready, locked in. And it was like, okay, we might get a locked-in Jimmy year in the regular season. And then he comes out and has 3 points. Not a very encouraging sign. Nikola Jovic was decent, though. 15 points. Jaime Jaquez kind of cool, 13 off the bench. Tyler Hero looked solid. So did Terry Rozier. But again, when your stars combine to shoot 2 for 13 from the field and one of them has 3 points, you're not going to win games. So, yeah, shout out to Orlando and Paolo Banchero for being amazing. Next, we had Cleveland-Toronto. Cleveland ends up dominating this game as well, 136-106, a 30-point dub to start the year for the Cavaliers. First quarter is very tight. We get to the second quarter, and they outscored Toronto 36-17. Evan Mobley, we saw in the preseason how he looked a lot more improved and looked a lot more confident on the offensive end. And we saw it last night, 25-9-3, 2 steals, 3 blocks, shot 9 for 14, was a plus 31, 27.5 game score. Dominant stuff. Getting into the paint, being a monster down there. He just looks a lot more comfortable and confident on the offensive end, which is something we've been waiting for forever. Donovan Mitchell, 21 points doing Donovan Mitchell things. Karis LeVert, very nice stuff as well. 19 points, shot 8 for 9 from the field off the bench. Jared Allen had 14 and 7, 4 blocks. Ty Jerome came in and gave you 14. Tough game for Darius Garland on the offensive end. 3 for 12, 7 points, 1 for 6 from 3, but he did have 6 assists. And without Max Strus still being able to come out and get a win. The offense, 136 points. They are playing the Toronto Raptors, but 136 points and Evan Mobley doing his thing. I'm excited. And for Toronto, very, very tough opener. No RJ Barrett, no Bruce Brown, no Kelly Olynyk, 3 guys that were rotational players for this team. Mayo quickly only plays 14 minutes because he gets hurt. A very bad start to the year for the Raptors. Scotty Barnes shot 3 for 14. Grady Dick looked solid though. 16 points, putting the ball on the floor a little bit. Chris Boucher gave you 18. Jamal Shed had 10 points. Shout out to Jamal Shed. But yeah, this is definitely not a opener to remember for Toronto. Next, we go to Brooklyn and I'm expecting to be very interested in, but got some good things from it. Atlanta ends up winning 120-116. For the Hawks, Trae Young 35 and 12, shot 7 for 16, doing Trae Young things. Of course, he's now back in the lead action, back as the main primary ball handler, even though he was with DeJounte. Now there's no DeJounte, it's just Trae Young doing his thing, and he looked really good. But there was the others for the Hawks that was really impressive. Onyeka Okongwu, 28-8 and 3 blocks on 11 for 12 shooting off the bench. Wow. I mean, he was just, I mean, it looked too easy out there. I mean, Brooklyn, Ben Simmons was starting at center, which you're going to get to in a second. So Onyeka Okongwu just asserting his dominance down there in the paint. Everything just looked so easy. Trae Young was just throwing the ball up. It kind of looked like what Clint Capella does. You know, Onyeka Okongwu was doing the Clint Capella thing, so he was just sitting there and he was just getting easy lobs, put back. Defensively, he was looking really good. Looked a lot more confident as well, down low with the ball. Like, that was a really impressive. You know, Onyeka Okongwu has had some good moments throughout his NBA career so far, but of course, with Clint Capella there, and the Hawks kind of trying to win in a sense, he was kind of not getting the opportunity that we thought he should be getting. But if he keeps playing like this, Clint Capella might be on the move soon. If Onyeka Okongwu is doing this, he'll be a starter by midseason. So great for him. Dyson Daniels as well. He was a guy that was involved in the DeJounte trade. A guy that, you know, a lot of people thought, you know, could get a lot more opportunity. He was a lottery pick not too long ago, but with the situation happening in New Orleans, with he has so many players, he's been injured, so he just hasn't really gotten a full opportunity. Now he does, and 15, 5 steals, hit 2 3-pointers. The steals were incredible. I mean, just pickpocketed everybody. I mean, last year, I think before he got injured, he led the league in deflections at one point. So he knows how to get his hands on the ball. And then if he's hitting 3-pointers, man, he's going to be a dream next to Trae Young. And then, yeah, Jalen Johnson, 11, 10, and 4. Not the greatest start, but he still was solid. Zachary Versace in his first game, 7 points, shot 2 for 8 from the field. Had some decent stuff. You know, I didn't mind the shots he was taking, just weren't really falling. But Atlanta with a good win. And then for Brooklyn, Cam Thomas, if there's one thing Cam Thomas is going to do, he's going to score the ball. 36 points, 14 for 27, 7 for 13 from 3. It's not going to be efficient, but it's going to be some bucket getting. So Cam Thomas is doing his thing. Jalen Wilson was very solid as well, 16 points. I think he could be something decent for the Nets in the future. Cam Johnson at 14. Dennis Schroeder shot 5 for 16. Ben Simmons, 24 minutes, 6, 5, and 8. 6 turnovers, 5 fouls. Was not horrible. The playmaking was really good. He is the starting center, I guess, over Nick Claxton, which I don't love for Brooklyn, especially with Nick Claxton being your highest paid player. Nick Claxton just got $100 million and he's playing 15 minutes per game. Now, he did get ejected, and he did not have a good game. But still, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I get them wanting to kind of put Ben Simmons at a great opportunity, and that's him. Him and Nick Claxton can't share the floor together because that's a spacing nightmare. But I don't know. I just don't like Nick Claxton coming off the bench for Brooklyn. Maybe it changes at some point. I don't know, but I don't know how I feel about that. But Atlanta looked really good. Well, not really good, but they look good. You know, I mean, the young guys for Atlanta taking over. If the young guys like Dyson Daniels and Onyeka Okongwu are making a name for themselves for Atlanta, then that's a successful year for them. Next, we have Charlotte and Houston, a very, very fun game. Charlotte ends up coming back from down 18 to win 110 to 105. And LaMelo Ball. I've said it all offseason, all this stuff. When LaMelo Ball is healthy, he's amazing. He's an all-star level player, and the Hornets are a better team, and you saw that firsthand last night. 34, 8, and 11 on 10 for 20 shooting, 4 for 12 from 3. Hit so many big shots in this game. Just incredible stuff from LaMelo Ball. I mean, last time we saw him have a full healthy year, he was an all-star back in 2021. Injuries have unfortunately just taken him from us the last few years, last 2 seasons, but now he's here, and I'm just praying and hoping that he has a healthy season, man, because when he's healthy, the guy is amazing, and the Hornets are a lot better of a team, but LaMelo was really good, and Trey Mann, 6-man Trey, I love it. You saw it in the preseason, saw flashes and glimpses of it, you saw it in real action tonight, 24 points, 8 for 16 from the field, he was absolutely electric as well. Made some big plays down the stretch. I mean, shots to Seth Curry, he had a nice rebound. Grant Williams hit a sidestep, or like a pump fake sidestep 3-pointer, you know, to put Charlotte up, I think. Like, they had some big moments, and that was a huge win, especially first game, come back from down 18 against a solid Rockets team, to have that moment like that, and have, you know, that team come together and do that in your first game. That's gonna be something to watch for the future. Even they also had that with Brandon Miller only playing 10 minutes due to injury, and Miles Bridges shooting 5 for 11 and not really doing anything. So have your second and third best player not do much and still be able to get a win like this, that's huge. But for Houston, just kind of fell apart a little bit in the fourth quarter. Alperen Sengun didn't come back in until late, and he had a couple turnovers at the end of the game. Dylan Brooks had a bad shooting night. Jalen Green, 28 points, shot 9 for 23. Not efficient, but he was getting buckets. Alpi, 25, 18, 5, and 4 steals. He was absolutely doing whatever he wanted to Nick Richards in the paint. Fred VanVleet had 14. Amen Thompson, I like what I saw from him, 13 and 4. First glimpse of Reed Shepard was solid. So, no Jeff Green in the rotation. Interesting. They're going with Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore, the younger guys, which I can respect. Tough loss for Houston for your first game. Very, very tough. But, hey, it's game 1 out of 82. You got 81 more to go. But Charlotte, very encouraging win. I predicted the Hornets to make the play-in. And this was a very exciting performance for the Hornets. Next week, to be honest, after they announced Zion wasn't playing, I lost so much interest in this game. It's not even funny. But New Orleans ended up getting the win by 12. I'm sorry, 12. Brandon Ingram. It was a Brandon Ingram show. 33 and 7, shot 13 for 23 from the field. We know all the offseason's been the talk of Brandon Ingram. What's going to happen after this season? Contract extension. Is he going to get traded? What's going to happen? They choose to keep him. And without Zion, he was amazing. Looked a lot more comfortable, confident, getting buckets just effortlessly. And if he plays similar to this when Zion comes back, they're going to be a very hard team to beat. CJ had 23 points. DeJounte Murray, his debut, 14, 8, and 10, shot 4 15. And then he has an injury. I think he was a broken thumb. I don't have my phone on me right now. But DeJounte Murray, unfortunately, is hurt. He'll miss a couple games or miss a little bit of time, which is really unfortunate, man. New Orleans the Pelicans just cannot catch a break with injury luck, man. The last couple years, injuries have just been destroying them, and it really sucks that from day one, they already don't have Trey Murphy for a little bit, and now no DeJounte Murray. It's hard, man. It's really, really tough. But you saw some good things. Brandon Ingram, CJ still good. Jordan Hawkins is a flamethrower. Yves Missy had a really good performance, 12 and 7 with 3 blocks. Love that. So you still have some good things to hold on to, and Zion is going to be back. But just injury bug is just hitting hard. For Chicago, Zach LaVine, another guy similar to Brandon Ingram, where a lot of talk this offseason about is he going to get traded, what's going to happen there. And he came out at 27 points, hit 5 3-pointers, was really nice, looked really confident, really aggressive, especially from 3. And you love that. 21 and 11 for Vucevic. Josh Giddey, 14, 5 and 3. Jalen Smith gave you 15 off the bench and some good minutes. Lonzo Ball played 14 minutes, had 5 and 4 assists. Shout out to Lonzo, he's back. Montas only 4 minutes. Want to see more of those minutes. Kobe White didn't have a great shooting night. But New Orleans, Brandon Ingram is good. And the injury bug for the Pelicans, the NBA gods just don't like the Pelicans for some reason, I guess. I don't know. Memphis ends up getting the win 126-124 thanks to a Ja Morant finishing dagger layup. And for Memphis, 3 players scored 20. Santi Aldama is the leading scorer. 27, 5 and 2. 10 for 16, 5 3-pointers starting for Jaren Jackson. Santi Aldama, I think, is really solid, man. I think he is. I mean, I feel like every time someone's hurt, Santi's in there and he has a good job. He's a guy that can stretch the floor, can put the ball on the floor, makes the right basketball play. He was a star of Spain this year in the Olympics. So Santi Aldama doing his thing. Desmond Bane, 24, 4 and 4. Ja Morant, 22, 5 and 10 on 7 for 12 shooting. Memphis doing great. The only thing that does scare me is the bench. I didn't realize how kind of not good this bench is. Now, they do have a lot of injuries. So this is where I know. I mean, last night, they had Jaren Jackson, who's a starter, and then you have Gigi Jackson, Luke Kennard, and Vince Williams all not play. Those are 3 bench players. Those are 3 actual rotational players for the Grizzlies. So last night, you're running out Jalen Wells, Jay Huff, Jake LaRavia, and Scottie Pippen as your bench. I mean, Jay Huff had 13, but not very exciting, especially Zach Edey, who fouled out in 14 minutes. Not very excited for that, but eventually those guys are going to be back. So, something to look forward to. But for Memphis, good job from them. For Utah, Lauri Markkanen is really good at ball, man. 35 and 9, 9 for 15, 13 for 14 from the free throw line. Lauri Markkanen just doing his thing, man. You love to see it. Catch and shoot threes, being really aggressive, especially in the mid-range area, getting to the free throw line. Really nice. Jordan Clarkson has 17, 5 and 7, 16, 14 and 5 blocks for Walker Kessler. A very, very good showing from him, honestly. 16 for Colin Sexton, 12 for Taylor Hendricks, who's starting for them. Keontae George had a really tough shooting night, 3 for 18, 12 points, but he did have 7 assists, including a nice lob to Lauri Markkanen to start the game. So Utah, I mean, they're not going to be good. but at least you get performances like Lauri Markkanen doing his thing, which is nice. But the Memphis Grizzlies, they're back. You know, not fully 100% yet, but they're going to be back very soon. Golden State 1-5 without no one doing anything really. Buddy Hield dropped 22 points in 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes, with 5 3-pointers. So the new splash cousin is in there doing his thing. Andrew Wiggins, 20 points. I love the second half from Wiggins. He had 10 in the second half. Hit 4 3-pointers. So Andrew Wiggins, is he back? I don't know. Steph, 17, 9, and 10. Had a tough shooting night. You know, I mean, only took 10 shots, and they still won by 35. So that's a luxury over there. Tracy Jackson-Davis, the starter. Brandon Podziemski coming off the bench. Tracy Jackson-Davis starting in there. 14 and 4 on 5 for 5 shooting. Jonathan Kuminga, 10 points on 3 for 9 shooting to start. Brandon Podziemski did not score in this game. He was 0 for 5, 0 for 4 from 3, and he was a plus 34 in this game. That's Brandon Podziemski right there. He did not score. His game score was a negative 0.2, but he was a plus 34 in the game. Brandon Podziemski, ladies and gentlemen. And then Moses Moody, playing actual minutes, gave you 15 points. So yeah, some good things from the Warriors, but no. Portland, Scoot gave you 22 off the bench. He shot 7 for 18, but he gave you 22. Denny Avdija, I think I liked his minutes. 15, 7, 4 for 10 from the field. Not really. There's not much to say about the Blazers. I mean, they got to 100. They got to 100 points. But yeah, remember what I said in the Western Conference prediction video? What I said, someone's gonna have to be the punching bag of this Western Conference. It's gonna be the Portland Trail Blazers. And finally, we had Suns, Clippers. This game went to OT. The Suns ended up winning this game 116 and 113. Kevin Durant gave you 25 and 7 on 8 for 17 shooting. Kevin Durant's still doing it. Year 18 for Kevin Durant, man. Shout out to Kevin Durant for getting to year 18, doing his thing still. Bradley Beal looked a lot more comfortable last night. I loved what I saw from Bradley Beal. 24 points, shot 8 for 12, 4 for 6 and 3. Looked really in control and was doing his thing. Devin Booker, I mean, when Devin Booker only takes 9 shots and you still get OW, you take it. I mean, 15, 4, and 6. Definitely being a playmaker. Definitely kind of being passive, trying to get Bradley Beal and them involved, which I can respect. Tyus Jones with 8 assists with 11 points. That's what you need him over there. Didn't really get home a lot of production from the bench. You know, I mean, Grayson Allen hit a couple threes. Mason Plumlee had 8 points. You know, Oscar Dar and Ryan Dunn scored in their minutes. But, I mean, defensively, they were on it. You know, defensively looked really good. And you have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, especially playing the way they were playing last night, was really nice. For the Clippers, a really good James Harden game. 29, 12, and 8. He did have 8 turnovers and shot bad, but at this point, James Harden is the star again, all right? So you got to take what you can give. But James Harden looked really good last night. Zubac, 21 and 9. You know, Norman Powell at 17 points, doing his thing. He's a starter at the 2, which I think absolutely had to have happened. Derek Jones gave you 12 points. Amir Coffey gave you 11 off the bench. Some decent things from the Clippers. You know, they don't look horrible. With James Harden at the front, man, you know, they're not going to be horrible. I just don't think they're going to be that good in the Western Conference. And then there's a lot of stuff coming out right now about someone suing. It's a lot for the Clippers. And shout out to Intuit Dome, debuting for the first time. It was really nice. The wall behind the free throw line, genius Steve Ballmer. You know, and you saw a lot of videos of Steve Ballmer, man. Shout out to Steve Ballmer for being an owner that cares. He's at the game, front row, cheering on his team every time, man. You gotta love that, because you don't really see it a whole lot from the NBA, especially with their owners. But shout out to Steve Ballmer. Shout out to the wall. Shout out to the people out there that made the wall very successful last night as well. And the Phoenix Suns ended up getting a W to start the year. More NBA basketball tonight. I cannot wait for it. But those are our first impressions of every NBA team. Let me know down in the comment below what your first impressions of some of these teams were after one game. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.